I asked Bing AI if it could make me a competitive Pokemon team to use for the video game championship, but I didn't want to copy and paste any team you could find on the internet. I wanted to use my favorite Pokemon on a team and have teammates that would hopefully synergize with it. So what kind of team did I get? And would I be able to win any battles with it? Let's see what I get with the assistance of AI. But first, what made me want to use AI to craft my perfect team? Well, I've had the small itch to get back into competitive Pokemon battling lately, but I've been out of the loop since 2007. I could do what I did back in the day and do some research myself, or I could try something new and see if AI could do some of the work for me. I'm all about trying new things, and I got curious as to how well an AI could complete the task. So now, which AI chatbot should I talk to? I could use ChatGPT, but it seems that everyone's using it to do a lot of crazy things. I don't want to be like everyone, so I went with the next best thing I had access to: Bing AI. If you haven't caught up with the current trends, basically I could ask Bing AI some questions and it would give me answers as if we were having a conversation. Since I was new to this, I wanted to know how knowledgeable Bing AI is before I asked it to craft my team. So I started off with some easy questions like, how do you evolve Gimmighoul? And how do you get Herba Mystica? For the most part, it answered my questions fairly well, but how complex of a question could I ask? Digging deeper into my minuscule brain, I asked a more broader question: what are the best Terra Ray Pokemon? This answer was somewhat questionable. Maybe Bing AI isn't up to the task. Since I got this far, I might as well keep going and start asking questions on crafting my AI generated Pokemon team. The first prompt I used was, what are the best Pokemon to use to make a competitive Pokemon team for VGC battles in Scarlet and Violet? Since I only asked what the best Pokemon are, Bing AI gave me some examples of Pokemon that were commonly used competitively, such as Goldengo, Annihilate, Palafin, Amoonguss, and Garchomp. Individually, these are some great Pokemon to use, but as a team, they might not synergize as well. Even at the end of its answer, Bing AI told me to consider other factors when building a competitive team. So that's what I did. After some finagling, I asked if it could make a custom team that featured my favorite Pokemon, Typhlosion. The answer I got started off with explaining Typhlosion's stats and moves. Then it gave me a list of Pokemon to pair Typhlosion with. I got recommended to use Murkrow, Torkoal, Lilligant, Iron Moth, Annihilate, and Glimmora to use for my Typhlosion based team. Since I could only use 6 Pokemon, I decided that my team was going to be Typhlosion, Iron Moth, Glimmora, Lilligant, Torkoal, and Murkrow. Now that I know who's going to be in the team, I needed to know how to train each Pokemon. So one by one, I asked Bing AI to go into detail on how to build each Pokemon. The answers I got were fairly thorough and gave me a few options to use for each Pokemon on the team. Since I didn't get the specific effort value spread and nature, I had to ask what EVs I should give each Pokemon to get the specific ability, nature, EVs, and moves to build the Pokemon. It took some time to ask 2 questions for every Pokemon on the team, but in the end, I finally got the specifics needed to train the team. Hold up, before I get ahead of myself, what if I got some wrong information during all of this? Before I go into the game and actually train up the team, I should probably verify that these Pokemon could actually have the abilities and moves that were recommended by Bing AI. And verify I did. For the most part, everything looked legit, except for one Pokemon. Just in case I wanted to swap out a Pokemon down the line, I asked for details about Annihilate. For Annihilate, Bing AI recommended the ability Sword of Ruin and the moves Ice Spinner, Sucker Punch, Sacred Sword, and Flare Blitz. Huh. Does this look funny to you? Well, it should, because for one thing, Annihilate can't have Sword of Ruin as its ability. Second, it can't even learn any of those moves. Like everything else on the internet, you can't believe everything you see, and you should always fact check everything. With that out of the way, I didn't bother with Annihilate and moved on with my initial team. If you're curious about the specifics, I'll show them on screen and have the information in the description down below. Now I just need to catch, hatch, and train up the team before I can do any battles. Okay, so instead of training my Pokemon, I opted to load them up with some vitamins as a substitute. It works the same and saves me some time, so don't judge me. Now that I have my team in the game, let's go online and battle some people to see if this team is worthy of being champions. Alright, there's definitely a lot to improve on this team, especially when there's a lot more Pokemon that can be used now thanks to the Pokemon Home update. Or it could just be a skill issue. Well, since it's me, it's most likely the latter. I know the meta is constantly changing and I'm not much of a battler, but this was a really interesting experiment to see if it could help me get back into competitive Pokemon battling. Would I recommend doing the same thing? Probably not. Am I going to get back into competitive Pokemon battling? Not entirely, but I did have some fun, so I'll definitely do some battling every now and then. If you are interested in getting into the competitive side of Pokemon, there are lots of resources out there that can help you understand the game at a deeper level, and communities that can help you craft your perfect team. The Pokemon World Championships are coming up, and getting into video game championships is much more accessible now than it has ever been. Get involved and check out your local community for any Play Pokemon events that could be happening near you. Who knows, maybe one day you could be the next Pokemon World Champion. If you liked the video, show some love and hit that like button. Comment down below on what kind of team you would make. Consider becoming a channel member. And lastly, subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Thanks for watching.